We're going to fly a proposed route back from where we are now, which is Friday Harbor, here in the San Juan Islands, all the way back to our home field of Boeing, using a modified route of the way that we got here. So we're going to go from Friday Harbor back over Blakely Island like we did before. Instead of going to Mount Vernon, we're going to skate the edge of the Class C airspace and go to the town of Burlington, watching for the lights of Burlington there. We're going to do a fairly long leg across this sort of not much there area to overfly Arlington. And then we're going to go look for the town of Lake Stevens. So not looking for the lake itself, because you're not going to be able to see that at night, but looking for the town that's just to the east of the lake. And then continue south-southeast to the town of Monroe. It's not big, but we should be able to see it. And then from there we're going to turn southwest and look for the town of Bothell, look for the city of Bothell. Once we head that direction near Lake Washington, things are going to get a lot brighter. So we're going to look sort of for the northmost town that we can, which is Bothell. And then from there, south to Bellevue, which is our point where we contact KBFI. We tell them we're ready to land. We do the Bellevue arrival. We're expecting south flow because winds are coming from the south. And then at that point, we'll get clearance to land at Boeing Field, probably runway 14 left, I would think. So as before, we have a navlog. We have a series of waypoints that we want to hit. We have wind calculated and speeds and courses that we intend to fly. We do not have compass deviation, so we're not using that, but we'll use magnetic heading that we've calculated to be the heading that we steer. And in addition, what we've done differently from last time is for the VORs, I have identified the radial that we would expect to be on if we are correctly crossing the waypoint. So for instance, here at Friday Harbor, if I tuned in the CVV VOR, provided we could actually see it on the ground, we should be on the 310 radial. If we're not, something is wrong. We're not in the right spot. All right, you get it. We have 40 gallons of fuel. We did not refuel here at KFHR. I kept the engine running. You know, co-pilot went out, had a bathroom break. He came back, stands on the brakes. I go get a bathroom break. I come back. We take back off. No need for a run-up. Just keeping things nice and simple. Oh, there's an airplane.
Friday Harbor weather. Wind 270 at 5, visibility 9. Sky conditions 12,000 scattered, temperature -4, dew point -27. Altimeter 2992.
I'm going to go ahead and take off to the north. Winds are coming from the west. There isn't a selected runway. There's no other traffic on this airport, so I'm going to go ahead and choose what I want to do. Yeah, we already started the engine. We're ready before taxi, before takeoff. We don't need to do that. So, okay, mixture lean is required for the ground. Let's see. Fuel flow's good, oil pressure's good, oil temperature's coming off the PEG. EGT is okay, as normal, VAC is fine, battery is good. And we're on tanks both. Fuel shutoff is pushed in. Mixture is leaned. Keys are on both. And masters and batteries are on. Alright, we're good. Stop stalling, Charles. Let's get out of here. Plates, Friday Harbor. I'm here at 16. I'm going to take taxiway Alpha, Alpha 3. That says taxiway Golf. Oh my god, these are so backwards. That says Alpha 3. I don't like that at all. Gross. I'll have to write that up, I don't know. Friday Harbor traffic, Cessna 374 Mike Alpha, taking runway 34, eastbound departure, Friday Harbor traffic. And time off the ground looks like it's 1650, so double aught 50 Zulu time. Mixture's full rich, throttle's up. Wow, there was a little bit of a bump there, that was fun. And there's 50. Up we go. And we're climbing for VY. Let's get out of here. Looked like a towered airport to me. I don't know why there's a CTAF, but that's... maybe it's not towered at night, I don't know. Alright, still continuing the climb out. That's 700 feet above ground. I'm going to go ahead and take a right turn and get on course. 050 is our intended heading, and we're going to continue the climb. Okay, make sure everything's feeling good still there. Alright, let's As we climb for 3,500, we're just going to do a little tiny bit of bookkeeping here. And 0050 was our time off. And what we're looking for is Blakely Island. That annunciator is telling us that we are 1,000 feet from our target altitude. And there we're evening out. I'm looking down there and I see what I believe to be the Blakely Island Airport. It does not have a beacon. So if I look at my map, you see Blakely Island there. It does not have a star on it, so it does not have a rotating beacon. We should verify where we think we are. We should modify our fix a little bit. We should ask CVV where we are. Looks like 328 from Penn Cove. So let's go find Penn Cove. Set it to 328. And about there we'd be. Do we think that this is Blakely Island? I believe the answer is yes. I'm looking down. I can see that is a runway. It's not particularly well lit, but it is the runway, and I believe that's Blakely. So we're now going to turn heading 095. And we're going to start a climb to 5,500. All right, there we are at VY, so we'll nose down to recover a little bit of speed, make sure we don't bleed off too much. Our intention here is to continue to use the CVV, and this is 20 miles to Burlington. This is a long jaunt. Got what looks like an airport in the distance off of my right. Just cutting the lubber's line. It might be 1.5 from me. What might that be? It might be 74S. That might be Anacortes. Doesn't sound too off the mark. Probably should be seeing an airport ahead of us, which we do. Right there, it has a white and green beacon as well. That's KBVS. That's Skagit. You see these two whatsits here? Looks like radio towers. Let's see if we can find them. There's KBVS. It has a beacon. And there you have towers. You have one pretty tall and you have one really tall. Feeling pretty good about where we are. I just saw something pop in here. This looks like a road. Maybe it's a town. Not sure, but we're rocking it. Also, we are absolutely over speeding this aircraft because we are established. We need to pull that throttle back a little bit. We're probably blasting oil pressure really badly. Oh yeah, we're starting to see more of this come in now. And we're at cruise altitude, so let's go ahead and lean it out. Okay, we'll lean to peak. And leave it at peak. 1635 EGT. How we doing on fuel? 37 gallons remaining, 2.9. I'll do a check on all that once we cross Burlington. Which at this point, I would expect to do 13 minutes after 058. We got about 7 minutes left to go. Love seeing love seeing this really, really long thing. I think this is I-5. That's Interstate 5. And we're going to actually track that all the way home. It's going to be grand. And so what we're looking for visually is the town of Burlington. And what does that look like? So I'm going to turn off the sectional, and I'm going to turn on the street map. And there's I-5, just like that. There's sort of nothing to the north. And right here, we got all the lights, right? So, not a whole lot to the north. There's a town of Cedro-Woolley, which is a little off to the east. So I'm feeling like that's Cedro-Woolley that's off I-5, and the town that I-5 cuts through here is Burlington. So, that's good news, isn't it? Oh wow, let me zoom in, you could actually see the interface in the airplane itself when you look through the window of the outside view. That's attention to detail. Wow. So that's Burlington. It's time to turn on course for Arlington Municipal. This is going to be a course change to 143 magnetic. 143 magnetic. Right turn. We stay at 5500. We're continuing an eastbound. We're taking the east part of the west-east arcs, so we keep an odd altitude plus 500. So 5500 is our intended altitude. Ooh, a little bit of shifty wind up here. I'll see if the autopilot is okay to ride that out. If it is, great. If not, I'll take over. I'll hand fly it. Rest, relax, have another cup of coffee. Why don't we do our checks? Floor to door. There's your both tanks. Fuel shutoff is on. Mixture is appropriately leaned out, and we have keys in both. Avionics and batteries are on. Fuel flow is good. Oil pressure is at the top edge of the green. Oil temperature is off the peg. EGT is stable. Vacuum pressure is good. Fuel is good. So we burned less fuel than we expected, and we're going a little faster than we expected, so we made up for the time that we lost on the ground, so that's good news. Now that we've made this fairly significant turn, I don't think we're going to get as much tailwind helping us along, but that may change. We are currently on course 341, or excuse me, we're on the 341 radial from PAE. Interesting. Or somewhere on this line. You know, we're following I-5. I see up ahead what looks to me to be another airport. Oh, the town's popping in there. My bad. Okay, flashing beacon. The runways are aligned. Look at this. It's like we're flying into a V, and that's aligned like a V. It's flying right into the notch there, so that's a pretty good indicator. When we cross KWO, we should be on the PAE 003 radial. So why don't we tune that radial in, and when we see the course deviation indicator line up, when we cross over KWO, we will know that we're over the right waypoint. How's everybody doing back there? There's nobody back there. Oh. A little feisty air. We'll just stay cool. Stay cool, everybody. Now in the distance there, what do you suppose that is? It's big. I suspect that's Payne Field. The reciprocal of 003, right? Add 200, subtract 20, so 203 minus 20 is 183. Did I get that right? Yeah, I got that right. So, do we think that south, right, sort of over there-ish, could that be KPAE? Yeah, I think so. Well, I think that's KWO. I don't see its beacon from here, but I guess maybe you wouldn't see it if you're directly above it. And that course deviation indicator is swinging in slowly. 21 in 10 minutes. Ground speed of 126. Wow. We picked up even more ground speed. Woo! Fantastic. Can't beat that. We know we're heading 9 miles on this heading toward Lake Stevens, so we should expect to get there by 0, 1, 2, 3. We should expect to get there in about another 2.5 minutes. Now it's hard to see a lake at night. In fact, you're not going to. You're going to see a whole lot of nothing. And maybe that nothing is telling, maybe it's not. Let's use a secondary data source to figure out where we are. We're still on the PAE. We should be on R40 on the radial, on the 40 radial. It would appear that we're not there yet. We are on the 34 radial, so why don't we plug that in into our map. We might be right there. We might be off a little bit. So are we coming up on a big dark spot that's Lake Stevens? We don't know. Looking here, that looks like I-5 again to me. Anything else that we see? We see a obstruction. We see lit. Lit up. Some kind of thing. We're off. So here's 520, and I-90 is here. We want to be down to 1500. Okay, we'll slow it on down. And we're headed for Bellevue. Following I-5 is a good idea because we can see everything and we know there's stuff not sticking up, so. And where is Bellevue as it relates to I-90? Well, Bellevue's between I-520 and I-90, so Bellevue's there. So we'll go ahead and call in to Boeing Field. We'll say Boeing Tower, Cessna 374 Mike Alpha with Papa over Bellevue, full stop. Cessna 372 Mike Alpha, fly the Bellevue arrival. Fly the Bellevue arrival, 372 Mike Alpha. And the Bellevue arrival shows that we want to cross the I-90 bridge. We cross at Mercer Island, and we want to cross at 1,600 feet. And turn 201, so at this point we don't need to worry about the nav log. I'm going to go ahead and take it from here. Cross the 1,600 and then aim for midfield downwind. So I overshot a little bit there. I was too busy playing with my silly gadgets. Get up to 1,600. Okay, so 520 is off on my right, and this is I-90, and this is where it meets Mercer Island. So we want to cross that, and then we want to aim for midfield. And they're going to say 372 Mike Alpha, enter downwind at midfield, right traffic, 32 right, clear for landing. Enter midfield, right traffic, clear for landing, 32 right, 372 Mike Alpha. Sweet. All right, quick check. Both. Shut off. Mixture's rich. Throttle's good. Keys are both. Master's on. All right, oil pressure, temperature good. Fuel flow is good. Mixture's full rich, so EGT is low. System shows 33 gallons of fuel remaining. Looks good, ready to rock. Left turn, aim for KBFI, and we're a little high. We're 200 feet high, so I'm going to go ahead and put the nose down, aim for midfield, KBFI. All right, now the trick here, and I don't like this, is you don't want to get caught up and go to the wrong airfield. So we're going 180 magnetic. There's Renton, so that's good. Are we sure that that's Boeing Field? I'm not sure that's Boeing Field at all. I think that's Seattle, because I don't think we can see Boeing Field from here. So I think we want to be, that's Boeing Field. I was pointing at Seattle. Let's be careful, shall we? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull speed back, and I want to descend because I've actually been gaining altitude and I'm not ready to enter the pattern. They probably would have yelled at me for that anyway. They would have said 3278 Mike, descend to pattern altitude 1,100 feet. Descend to 1,100, 327 Mike Alpha. I was aiming for Seattle. I got blinded by that. Blinded me with science. All right, so aiming midfield. Again, 3-2 right. That's what we're looking for. Let's get the landing lights on. All right. There's a lot of stuff that could mess you up. A lot of stuff that can mess you up, man. Look at all those moving lights. Look at all that crap. It's nuts. You can't see the VFR stuff that I would expect to see. It's kind of a mess. Okay, there's 1100. Pattern altitude. Entering midfield at the 45. I feel pretty proud of myself for doing that. That's real nice. Now where do we want to make sure it's about halfway up the strut? So I'm going to go ahead and turn and stay at that pattern altitude. Don't mess. Don't mess with it. I'm going to turn 140. That's a reciprocal. Okay, what else are we looking for here? All right, we know we're past the numbers because that's the big field. So we're going to get into the white arc here. Flaps. Okay, there we go. We're 45 off. Are we coming down? We are. I'm seeing 900. 860. All right. Okay, there's base. We want to turn to make sure we don't overfly the wrong runway. We don't want to get into the approach path for 3-2 left. All right. 800 feet, we're definitely high, so flaps to 30 degrees. And they're going to say 327 Mike Alpha, wind 240 at 4 knots, clear to land runway 32 right. Clear to land 32 right, 372 Mike Alpha. Okay, I got it at full idle, mixture is rich. 4 whites, high as usual. And we're flying the Pappies, right? Those ones, that's what we're looking at. Make sure we're going for the right runway here. Speed 61. That's decent. I should see a red light here in just a minute. I'm going to give it a little bit of throttle to anticipate that. Slow us out just a little bit. crabbing a little bit to make this work. There's the red light. I'm giving myself just a little bit of extra room. There we go. Mains first, then nose. Nope, not going to be able to make that one. 3278 Mike, turn next taxiway, contact ground 121.9. Contact ground 1, turn next taxiway, contact ground 121.9, 372 Mike Alpha. Lean out a little bit. Reset trim for takeoff. Landing lights off. Switch back to regular taxi lights. And time on 1748. Whew, get some of that night air. It's cold. It's like, yeah, it's -4 degrees centigrade out here, which that's a little ridiculous. But no, I suppose it's not. It's like, what, 20 degrees, something like that. It's pretty cold. Probably taxiing just a little fast here. Now, I wouldn't do this at Galvin. They don't let you do this at Galvin. You shouldn't do this at Galvin, but I'm going to do this because there isn't any pushback service here in the X-Plane simulator, so I'm going to power it in and also not park it right on the tee because I don't want to hit this airplane and I can't turn it around 180 and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, don't do what I'm doing, okay? Okay, thanks. Okay. Also, don't set the parking brake at Galvin. They don't like you doing that because then they can't move the aircraft. But I'm doing it so that so I can get my feet, my waffle feet off of these darn rudders. All right, and then let's see. I'm going to turn pitot heat off. I'm going to turn everything except the beacon off. Oh, my batteries are dying on my trackball. That's what's going on here, I think. Yep, I think it's just about out of juice. Strobe off. And avionics off. No, I didn't like that. Keys to off, master alt off, battery off, standby battery off. Oh, fuel shut off on, tank to left. Yeah! Oh, that felt great. Very, very happy with how that went. Very happy indeed.